Yo, Pops World, what's going on? Hey, my boy Jake here, Jake Wolfe. I got my man. What's up, my boy?
Now listen, I don't want to mess up your jam, mess up
No,
your
you
flow,
good.
but I think it was only fair that we do a toast.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Proper toast.
Yeah.
To your 20th episode.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro.
It's crazy. Like nowadays, if people don't make it overnight, it's not like if you don't turn into Joe Rogan, like you just stop everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I love how it seems like similar to me, like your passion, your drive, just the craving you have to connect people.
No, I appreciate that, man.
Is much deeper.
Yeah, thank you.
Than hey, I want to be a social media celebrity.
Yeah.
So mad respect, man.
Nah,
so,
I appreciate you, bro.
Raise a toast.
My man.
Is that the right one?
No, this is perfect. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, man.
Get this bad boy open. Thanks, man. You know what I'm saying?
20 episodes.
20th episode, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got one of the good fellows on here. Great guy. We met through, shout out to BKO Fitness for connecting us. This is seeing this guy on Instagram, man. He's pushed me, you know, in ways for me to try to get better. When I go into the gym, he's a savage, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying, man. I'm just trying.
You're not trying, you're doing it, bro. You're doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to have you on here, because I feel like trying is like, I'm barely doing it, but you're doing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got mad respect for you. You know what I mean? That's why I reached out to you to ask you to come on here and share your story. Not just about fitness, but just life. You know what I'm saying? How you feel, where your head's at. You know what I'm saying? And again, I appreciate the drink, bro.
You gotta acknowledge the respect.
Yeah, and I appreciate it for real.
What you're doing is fantastic. Yeah. Like I said earlier, like just the passion you have for the connection. Yeah. It shows.
Yeah, thanks,
It's not like you have to go around and say, everybody, hey, I want to connect person A to person C and I'm person B. Like, it's very clear. You wear like your heart on your sleeve. Thanks, similar to me.
Appreciate
big fan of that.
Nah, I appreciate
That's
it.
What's up.
My man. So, who is Jake Wolfe, bro?
Who is Jake Wolfe?
I switched up my question in the beginning. Normally I ask something different, but yeah, who is Jake Wolfe?
I think that's a great question. And I think that question dates back years and years to childhood, to growing up. Very, very simple. So I just got to lift up who I am today. Big thanks to my beautiful mom, my mama bear. I think without her, the way she raised us kiddos, I would most definitely not be the man that I am today.
That's real.
Because get this, she raised me, raised my talented brother, my talented sister, and then on top of that, she worked jobs 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jeez, bro.
Because our pops was like, listen, I'm gonna max out the credit cards, drain the bank account, take out a loan for a boat, I think. Then he vominosed.
Wow.
So my mom was left with us 3 kids, and then we ended up getting a dog down the road, and just the man I am today. Yeah. Big thanks, a tribute to how my mom raised us.
That's dope.
So while she was taking care of us, getting us to all our recreational activities, so we could stay out of trouble, she would swim, bike, or run 4 to 6 days a week.
While working?
While working and getting us everywhere we needed to go. So you look at the madness on like my socials, just the crazy workout, the crazy drive.
You get that from your mom. Wait, bro, hold up, cuz 4 jobs, and on top of taking you and your siblings to your sporting events, and then outside of that, she was also doing her own extracurricular activities as well. That's, God bless her, bro.
Still to this day, she meets up with this group 3 to 4 days a week, elite group of just athletes, just impressive individuals from all walks of life. Yeah. Still meets up with them to this day. She's what, in her 50s now?
What?
You would think she was like 25.
Dang, that's crazy.
She does that all with a smile.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
She says, dope. I'm the frail one. I'm like, okay.
That's dope, man.
But so I grew up with that. And eventually it came around to 7th grade, we switched out of private Catholic Christian school to the public school system. and they had a wrestling team. And now my grandfather, surprise, my mom's dad, I always looked up to him and thought he was just like a specimen. Very strong, big, impressive dude. So he had some great stories growing up of him wrestling. So I was like, oh, that would be cool to do wrestling as well.
Yeah.
This isn't like the WWE. It's more so like Olympic style, like gritty, hard, tough.
Yeah.
So I was like, at the time I was watching, I don't know if you're familiar with C.T. Fletcher.
Oh, what?
Mike Rashid,
What?
Big Rob. Like, that's, and you can see that on my train today.
Girl, I know, bro.
Still to this day, I love going back to those videos and like you'll see like the little print like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep,
so
on YouTube, yep.
I started watching those guys. Started watching Dana Lynn Bailey, Rob Bailey, they're Flag North Vale.
Bro, that's great. Yo, the fact that you bring them up, cuz I actually went to, I think it was Warehouse Gym. Warhouse Gym.
Reading, PA.
I drove up there a couple years ago with my buddy. We drove up there to Warhouse Gym, bro. And Dana wasn't there, but around that time is when I started to see who they were. And the fact you bring them up is very ironic.
And they're like, they went to school. They went to Westchester University, like right down the road.
What?
He cooked, or he was a football player, was cooking on the side at like one of the restaurants. She was a soccer player. And the only time I guess they could hang out is if they lifted. So that's essentially how they got their start.
Wow.
But just what a small world. So I was like so enamored by those guys. I thought it was so impressive.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to look or be like them, but I
Yeah.
think mindset, training style, the intensity, was a big fan. So since mom was going to the gym, public gym, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, she would wake up 4:30 a.m. This is how she got it done. I was like, as like a little 7th grader,
Nah, son.
I was like, yo, mom, is that cool if I
gotta
like
sit
tag
back.
along? So she was like, sure thing. She hooked him up with a membership, like so kind. So she would go swim and I would go mess around with the weights and just try to figure it out. And then all these years later, I'm now back to that 3-day split, which is crazy. I've dabbled in all these different splits.
Bro.
I'm now back to how I started.
How old were you when you started that?
7th grade, so what was that? 13, 14, 15,
Are you
like
what?
young. So I came at it from this side of things. Everybody, I've heard on your talk with Tommy Knight's gym,
Yeah,
a lot of people are starting like mid-20s now,
they are.
but they want the results that I've gotten over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was very thankful to also understand just the psychology and behavior aspects
bro,
to working out.
So I'm not even going to go and asking the next question because you already answered it. It seems like your mom basically got you into fitness
Subliminally, like without just when you like talk in the psych world of modeling.
Yeah.
She just was trying to take care of herself
And
trying
that
to lead our
implemented back
family.
onto you.
And I took all that.
You took everything that she was doing for you. Yo, man. I'm like lost for words because you would think like normally that's not common for like somebody's mother to have them come to the gym with them as early as she gets up, and her son and her kids are like working out, and still at the age of 50 she's like, bro, you don't hear that a lot. So I'm like, I might be like, I'm just like, whoa, that's
gassing her up. But no, like for real, like
dope, though.
I don't think she ever got like enough respect in that way. She works dang hard. Still to this day, she doesn't necessarily need to work that hard, but she just loves
Her
it.
just
It's like
drive.
that runner's high.
Yeah.
She like
Her drive just takes you there.
she'll send me screenshots of like her steps or her
That's
mileage.
dope as I don't know what, bro. That's
And
cool.
now, thank God, I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
I've been bugging her all these years.
Mhm.
She's finally implemented strength training on top of that.
Okay.
The longevity aspect.
Okay. Yeah.
So now she's swimming, biking, running, yoga, and strength training. That's my mom.
Your
So
mom's
like,
a beast.
I owe it to her, to myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as impressive. I'm
Yeah.
probably 50% of the way there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's dope, man. So, with all that being said, bro, at that age of 13 in the 7th grade, did that working out with your mother lead you into some type of sport, like in the high school, like going from grade school to high school?
Awesome question. Sports were always present.
Uh-huh.
I think that was kind of like my first love of movement.
Yeah.
I was a soccer guy. I only transitioned to track just because some of the coaches in my area and me didn't gel well.
Okay.
Mighty unfortunate. Like, you know, as an athlete, there are some great, amazing coaches.
Yeah.
And then some coaches that's like, maybe in the wrong field.
Yeah.
So I transitioned to track because the coaches were so fantastic. They really cared about you. But since the age of 6, 7, 8, I was always soccer. I was doing, we had like a Christian Catholic league.
Mm-hmm.
I did public school as well when I switched over.
Okay.
And then also travel.
Soccer.
Yeah, travel, club soccer.
Okay.
So at one point, I was on like 3 different soccer teams.
Where?
Great. Again, just the
traveling. Dang,
exactly.
bro.
Which those were fun. We traveled to Virginia. Sometimes the beach tournaments were fun.
Okay. Gotcha.
We could go play soccer and then go hang out on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, sports were always a big part of my life.
Okay.
Mighty thankful, more so for what they could teach me.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm mighty thankful that she was a great example, great role model for me to continue.
Yeah.
She was an athlete herself. She played soccer all the way through college, ended up putting it down. But
right. So what? How long did that last? Did that sports? Did you go all 4 years of high school, going into college, or?
So I picked up track in middle school, did wrestling for a couple years, stayed with soccer until about mid-high school, and then kind of transitioned my passion, direction towards track.
Okay.
Because I just liked going fast.
Yeah, just like running.
My mom could tell you, ever since I was like 9 months old, running right on the curb. Like a little sweaty nut job. Like. For real. She's like, oh, Jake, come back.
Yo, I'm
like, peace, Mom. Catch you later.
Jake funny, bro. Yo, Jake is ready. You said a little sweaty nut job. That's funny, bro. Nah, that's funny as I don't know what. So your mom had you rolling like that, bro?
So I ended up running all the way through college. I was mighty thankful to get the opportunity, just like you walked on. At your college, similar to me, you walked on track.
Yeah.
Great, just amazing group of people. I still talk to those guys.
That's what's up.
Mighty impressive
That's
guys.
what's up. Yeah.
Guys and gals.
I still keep in contact with a couple fellas from football Westchester too. So track, sports, high school, college. At what point did you say to yourself, or did you realize that, okay, this track are these sports going to work out for me in the long haul, or am I just going to go back to my transition into just working out? Like, what was that like for you? Did it happen right away after you said, all right, I'm done with track, or did you have to ease your way into it?
That's an awesome question. So late high school, I sustained an injury in my hammy. All the sprinters know this pain, and it was just one of those things where it never truly healed properly. So I was constantly battling that for years and years and years. And the coach at university, thebomb.com, he kept giving me the opportunity so that I could get past that injury. I could really compete with these guys in some of these competitions and really kill it.
Yeah.
But I just never necessarily got that opportunity.
That's the worst.
As an athlete, it's like you're right there,
bro. I'm gonna tell you real quick, man. I got bad shoulders. I don't know when it started, but going into I think my sophomore junior year of high school, I was playing at my senior Barnard High School, and I don't know where it came from, but when I would take on force or hit people with my shoulders, but when I would go to wrap you up, my shoulders were just weak, bro. I don't know if you ever heard of these things called slap tears.
I have not.
Have you ever seen a lemon squeezer before? Like a lemon squeezer where you go you flap it out, and then in order for you to squeeze, in order for you to close it, you have to depends on how you want to use it. You can go like this and swing it back and then squeeze. that's basically what my shoulder would do. Like my shoulders would just instead of my shoulders dislocating by something happening and somebody having to put it back in, it would basically go back in the socket on its own. It was weird, bro. Yeah. So that when you talk about injuries, bro, I know very much all too well how that is, and it sucks. Especially when it comes to you wanting to go far within whatever sport that is. It's hard, bro, to deal with.
Exactly, especially being like, once you're like, there are some like athletes where like through and through, like it's almost in your blood. You're gonna. I talk about this with a current training client of mine. Like, through and through, you're an athlete for the rest of your life.
You are.
In some way, shape, or form, some capacity.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously, we sometimes see ourselves as athletes as one dimension.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I struggled with. I felt mighty inferior, kind of less than when that wouldn't necessarily work out. Right. But I was thankful that at the same time I had strength training, weightlifting.
Right.
So I was crazy. I continued with that through college. So I'd go to the track workouts, and then depending on the season, we would have strength and condition workouts. And then at the end of the day, I would also go do my own Jake thing that I've been doing for years.
Yeah.
So that for me, it initially started out, I want to be kind of cool, big and strong, like my mom and grandfather.
Yeah.
And then eventually it became like incredibly therapeutic.
Okay.
So I like to refer to it as like the Iron Temple, like just this iron therapy for me.
Yeah.
Or I could go and kind of handle various demons, which I know nowadays is mighty popular amongst our youth. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate that the world has turned to what it's turned into, and that as you know, social media don't make it no better. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the inner things that everybody has to deal with, like seeing those things, you got all your senses are exposed to a lot of that. Yeah, it is.
For you and I, we have this awesome connection. We're able to reach more people than we are on the reg.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just I think that traces back to just the human condition. That you take things to the nth degree.
Yeah.
To the extreme.
Yeah. No, it's true, bro. Like not to get off topic, but since we're talking about it, it's unfortunate how like something that can be used to uplift and bring people together, to a certain extent, very high extent, tears us down in ways in which, honestly, bro, we really have to like. Some people, not all, but a good part of the world has to really like fight with stuff because of social media. And it's like it's hard to like, because it's so common in multiple stages and fields of different areas. It's everywhere. So it's like even when you try to run away from it, bro, it's right there in your face. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to like locking in on, like, you know, getting outside of that, not looking at that stuff, but like you said, like the gym is something that it's like a getaway place. Like when you focusing on that, that's that time away from that.
Oh,
you feel what I'm saying?
It's like I don't know about you, like totally hyper focused.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like I metaphorically get to kind of close the doors, lock the doors, turn the lights off, and just like breathe for a second. Yeah. No, for real. And even just when it comes to just like, all right, like, you know, starting the day off with prayer, you know what I'm saying? Like, my gosh.
Yeah, no, for real.
Big fan of that Jesus guy.
Yeah, no, for real, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I feel like he's not talked about enough. And my actual thought process was to bring him more into the podcast, just to recognize him for, you know,
it's like
for how great he is.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I just love this. I think that's my issue I have with some kind of fitness influencers nowadays, or maybe just more so a frustration, is there are many that are big fans of this Jesus guy, but they're incredibly quiet. I guess maybe they're cognizant, like maybe people they won't be able to reach people as well because of that.
If I be honest with you, bro, it's really one of them things where when it comes to being a believer, bro, it's a walk that is not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's
Dude,
very.
amen.
It's,
Oh
no,
my
it's not. It's not, bro. It's not. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not easy, but it's worth it. In the sense of, like you said, it's not talked about enough because it's kind of frowned upon. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
time nowadays. And it's like, I think what's confusing, you grew up
Yeah, I grew up
being
in
a
church.
father.
Yeah, I grew up. Yeah.
Same thing. I was mighty fortunate that mom encouraged it within my life as well. I think nowadays people totally overlook the fact that's like, put aside the fact that he's our creator and maker, put aside the fact that we've got salvation in him, big variables, but put those aside for a second.
Yeah.
And like, just look at the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, where in detail, these guys of the time talk about his life, talk about what he was about.
Yeah.
And if you just read that, like, you look at him just as a person, as he was, you're like, wow, this guy was like kind of like a homie.
Yeah.
Like, he's the kind of guy that like,
the
life of the partier that
Yeah.
you would want to be around. Like, he made you feel good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you had to approach him, bow down, oh my Lord, my Savior. Like, he sought us out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Imagine like the president like seeking us out, and then like this is our maker, our creator. He comes to us.
Yeah.
Which to me is like, I don't believe I'm deserving.
Yeah. Bro,
it's crazy that he thinks that of us.
Bro, I'm telling you, sometimes we go days. It's like, bro, like, you allow me to go through another day. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like, big thanks. Like,
no, thanks. When half the time it's just like, bro, I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to ourselves, you be like, man, you think about it, it's like, man, I did not deserve that, but I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying, for allowing me to have another opportunity to get better. You know what I'm saying, and move on and keep going. So I'm glad we talked about that, bro. That's a real.
I think people take that for granted. That's something that's kind of at my core nowadays, and it sounds like it's at your core. Just being thankful for another day, especially in this crazy world. Just thanks for another day of like life, of oxygen.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact that this is me being like for real. The fact that I can honestly sit here and talk about God on this level and on my platform, I'm not gonna say I would never do it, but I feel like I'm comfortable enough within myself to be like, all right, yo, yeah, like that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I want to like openly appreciating God for how great He is. It needs to be happening. It's something that needs to be recognized more. You know what I'm saying? And though we fall short each and every day, like I said, God, I thank you for another day, another opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we transitioned into talking about.
And like, we don't need to sit here and get our Bibles out.
Get
on the stand and like
just recognizing Him for how great He is, bro, is enough.
Conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, recognizing Him for how great He is. It's good. That was dope. So, transitioning out of college and everything and working out and stuff. Your personal trainer as well. Where did that start?
Yes, sir. So, similar to about 5-10 minutes ago, it started way back then. I had this desire to move to like be like kind of like the family models that I had in my life. But then my mom's is a speech pathologist, so she's always been kind of treating, healing, and encouraging others. And again, that's something that I saw, and I was like, wow, like that's kind of cool. Like that's attractive to me.
Yeah.
So even in middle school, like a lot of my classmates, peers, teammates picked up on the fact that I was my body was changing, body composition was changing, and they'd be like, "Yo, man, like, ready to work out, or like, what should we be eating?" Or so that started way back when I started in middle school. So it's cool. Like,
I was asking for tips back then.
What's up?
They was asking you for tips back then. You was that bull.
I was like the gym guy, like the crazy obsessed, whatever you want to call it. Like, and like, I thought that was so dope.
That's cool.
So I'd be like metaphorically like put on my like a little lab coat. I'm like getting busy.
That's funny.
With pencil, paper, writing these little workouts for teammates or friends.
That's dope, bro.
recommending various nutrition options. So that continued through high school, college. I get out of college 2019, so that was just before the world went loopy. And then they shut the gyms down. I, surprise, ended up in a commercial gym working in different capacities right after college. And when everything shut down, since I was known by my community, like as this gym guy, I had a bunch of friends, teammates, former classmates reach out to me. And I was like, I was doing this for free at the time. So I was like, oh, like no problem. Like I write this up for you, checking in with them week by week basis. And then just kind of eventually hit me, wait. I feel like just confidence-wise, there's like a confidence and maturity to this. I feel like I finally understood that I bring value. After it took me all these years, right? Like everybody goes at their own pace. I was like, you know what? Like this could be my life. This could be the rest of my life. So brick by brick, client by client, started building up that clientele base.
That's dope, bro.
And I like to keep it lower. I know nowadays we see a lot of people online preaching, 20K months, 40K, 100K, $1 million months or years. For me, similar to you, it's like, man, I'm focusing on bringing value, connection, and like we talked about earlier, trying to get these people to be who they were created. Through fitness, through movement. I think that's where it starts.
It does, and I feel like, again, with social media, I feel like it's easy to, the dollar amount is very attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
It is, so it takes away from all the other value things that should be actually implemented before that, because you have to technically, to a certain extent, you have to work your way through those realms of going through life to get to the dollar. You feel what I'm saying? But it's hard. It's again, like I said, that dollar amount that you see will make you feel like you're not doing nothing. So, and therefore you get all cranky and all that. You want to stop. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you went and you're still, and I see you. I see you. You're not. One thing about you is you're constantly working. And without you showing, hey, this is what I do. You showing, like, this is what I do. You feel what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
I love how they bring that up. That's something I'm thinking about, that it's not like, again, like I'm trying to turn to Joe Rogan overnight or whatever fitness influencer. Like, I'm just trying to bring value. So I look at kind of my socials, like my Instagram, kind of as a catalog or a library. Like, this is what I'm about. This is how I treat my training clients. Like, this is kind of my mentality. Here's some motivational pieces, some discipline pieces, nutrition. Like,
I'm available to y'all. No, for real.
Exactly, and like kind of like you said it. Like, I'm available. Like, I want it to be that interaction between me and a potential training client, or like a current training client. I want it to be very raw.
Relationship. It's personal. And this is what I really feel like. When it comes to I feel like a lot of people get the word personal training mixed up, right? Because I feel like people need to understand that being a personal trainer isn't just about just getting the bread. It's more so honestly about building a relationship with that person who is trusting you to guide them to become better physically, not physically, but even when they're having a bad day. You feel what I'm saying?
Sometimes I gotta put my therapist hat on.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That's one thing I realized that is watered down when it comes to being a personal trainer. I'm a personal trainer, right? I have it linked in my bio, but I'm not currently doing anything right now in regards to it. But I feel like that's the watered down part. Is people have to realize when it comes to that, people aren't just coming to all right, you need me to listen for a second? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind it.
No, they're bringing all their hills and valleys.
That's what I'm saying. And you have to be open to receiving that person where they're at. And as a personal trainer, the information that they're giving you because they had a hard day, allow that, receive what they just told you and push them into fighting off all that frustration and anger they got. So if that means you got to work out with them, work out with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm just or what, however it is that you
No, I get that.
push that person to be like, because they came to you, they was like, oh my God, like, all right, you pissed off today? All right, we gonna work.
Let's get busy.
You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like that's another thing that needs to be like that personal aspect. It's something that's not really talked about a lot.
No, when people set out to do personal training, like you said, like with social media, either they want to chase the bread, get the money, get those dollar bills,
Yeah.
or they just want to be like a gym guy. They just want to train hard.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, man. Like you need to meet, like you said, meet these people where they need to be met.
Yeah.
Understand where they were.
Yeah.
And then take them where they need to go, addressing like their needs, their wants, desires, like working with their pace, a little bit of a push, encouragement. I love how you brought that up.
No,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, no, for
that
real.
we need to, again, it goes back to that Jesus dude, our boy.
Relationship.
Meet people where they need to.
Yeah. And also, it's all about the relationship. So, bro, like, where you are now, let me ask you, where you are now with everything that's currently going on, you know, with you working out every day, clients, fitness, and even like stuff within the world. I ain't gonna get into it, but like with everything that we see on a day-to-day basis on social media, on the news, like how are you feeling like mentally and everything like that?
I think at first I can get kind of troubled because again, I'm in the business. I grew up I have this mindset where I want to be the problem solver. I want to solve everybody's problems.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about it more and more, and this is where the maturity piece comes in. It's like, listen, my greatest effect is going to be how I treat the cashier of Wawa. My greatest effect is going to be how I interact with trained clients.
Yeah.
My greatest effect is going to be these one-on-ones because that's my skill. That's where I think I thrive.
Yeah.
And I think I would encourage people to kind of search for, discover where they thrive. And making their impact. And again, you don't have to make this global, crazy impact.
No.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah. It's the smallest details that matter.
Exactly. So when I find myself and I'll sometimes just sit there at night, trying to solve, I refer to it, I sit there at night, I try to solve world hunger. That's not going to happen at 11 o'clock at night, man.
Hey, bro, you better go to bed.
Exactly. So I give thanks, and I'm like, you know what, I get an opportunity to, when I'm running errands, to interact with people, to make them laugh, silly. Interact. I get to encourage my own training clients. And I think that's where I make my mark. And I've been learning with giving our own selves, giving myself grace, that's enough.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, that's good, bro. You just said it. Out of everything you just said, the one thing that you mentioned right just now is giving yourself grace. That's the way just from talking to you and hearing how you, the way you approach things, you let things flow. You feel what I'm saying? And everything you just told me, you let it flow. And you also understand that within yourself. And you mentioned before, you don't put pressure on yourself. You allow everything to be everything, and you're present in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
No,
that.
for real. That's what I heard out of everything you said.
That's something that's taken. I'm 27 now.
Yeah.
I know my sexy haircut makes me look older. I'm 27. It's that's taken
no, bro.
And that's something that I work at every
being present in the moment, man, is something that is, and that's you touched base on a lot today. But just from talking to you, you're a man who's very present in the moment, and you just touched on the grace part. Even when it don't look clear and all that stuff,
even when there's a storm brewing, man,
still give yourself grace. And I feel like that's another thing that we as people need to do. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself, bro. Give yourself grace for where you currently are now, and allow yourself to, even when everything around you looks cloudy, and even as you touch based on with where you are now and everything like that mentally, allow yourself to be present in the moment and trust that you're gonna be all right. It's gonna be a little shaky for a second. It's gonna be a little shaky, but trust that you're gonna get out. Trust that you'll still, at the end of the day, be cool.
Make it through, man. Make it to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. That's that. Giving yourself grace is something that I've heard you say, bro. That's some dope stuff.
Especially as young men.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. No, for real, it is. And in fact, you said giving yourself present, like being present in the moment, like at the rightful age of you're 27, 29, at this rightful age, going into being at that middle age point in life, you know what I'm saying, it's very important to realize.
We're gonna be forever young.
No, you're right. You're right.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, he said wait a second.
You're taking it.
Wait a second. You said, look, we always gonna be young, bro. Stop. Nah, but yeah, bro. No, that's dope stuff, man. If you before I go into that, so where you're at now currently, within your journey of fitness and PT and all that stuff, are you for the people, are you currently accepting people on as clients and stuff like that? Okay.
Always looking, even if it doesn't work out now, maybe a couple months, maybe even a couple years from now, we end up touching base. Oh, hey, I remember you from years ago.
Yeah. Do you have any projects going on, or just right now
No, just really trying to focus on the one-on-ones, and that's something I watch a lot of Shark Tank.
Okay.
You're familiar with Shark Tank?
Yeah, I watch Shark Tank.
I know Kevin O'Leary and Mark Cuban, all those guys kind of encourage like young entrepreneurs, if you will, because that's essentially what we are.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, I want to be a trainer, podcaster, but again, we got to wear, like we said, wear all these hats.
Yeah.
And they kind of encourage people to focus on that one product, if you will, my training, my leadership, mentorship. Focus on the one product, allow that to prosper and grow. And then it's like, okay, maybe I want to do group training fitness classes through like another entity, or maybe meet up at a park and do like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now I'm focusing on the one skill.
Okay.
Trying to hone in on that, grow that.
That's good. So last question, bro. For everybody currently in the world, for people who may see this, and people who are in the field of fitness and whatever their heart desires for them to do, whatever their passion is, what encouraging words would you give them for them to either start follow the dream and keep going?
Dang, you came with the good questions, the tough questions.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been switching. I've been trying to figure out how to switch it up. So.
Scheming, man. Keep me on my toes.
You scheming.
So I would encourage everybody to focus on your craft. Focus on building yourself up. You ever hear like that? I like to give this airplane analogy. Like, when you get on an airplane, if you ever flown, they encourage you to put your mask on before you help others.
Right.
Why is that? Because if you get knocked down conscious, you can't be of any help to others.
No.
So just kind of like we've touched on, like I would encourage people to build your craft, work on yourself. Be as selfish if you can, if you will. So then you can be the best you can be to go and help others. It's not helpful if you're broken for the most part and you go and try to help.
I will say this though. That doesn't help, but also I will say, in the process of your wherever you are in life, in the process of your healing, you still can touch people.
Oh, I totally agree. I'm not knocking.
No. I'm bringing that up though because I feel like it's easy sometimes to feel like we're not available. It's easy. How can I say this? I feel like it's easy to feel like when we're still going through, we can't be available to anybody. When in fact, that's also the most impactful place to be, because as you're still going through your process of whatever it is, you're still able to trust God enough to see you through to help the next person up.
I like the way you worded it.
You see what I'm saying?
totally agree.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, bro, because I feel like that's not, even with fitness and everything, I feel like we all go through stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Some of your worst moments, and like a lot of my ink comes from those moments where I was broken, I was hurting bad. I looked over at somebody who looks like they were hurting. I felt called, decided to help them. I find out years later they were struggling with something much deeper than me. And I was like, shoot, I was broken myself. So I totally agree.
Those, in those moments, bro, you're still, and I want people to realize this, in your moments of you going through, you still can be used in ways that you as a human wouldn't understand. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to touch base on that, bro. You know what I mean?
No, thank you.
No, for sure, bro.
I think that's because, again, we see on socials, everything's sunshine and rainbows. Everything's perfect every single day, apparently, in some of these people's lives. When sometimes it's the total opposite. And to know and understand that there are other young men and women who may be struggling with A, B, and C too. We can totally connect.
Facts.
Through that.
Facts. Yo, my man, I appreciate you, bro. This was really, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This was really this episode was top tier for me, bro.
Refreshing.
I really love sitting down and talking to you, bro. Like, first time meeting you, you know what I'm saying? I loved hearing this really was one of my favorite, and this might be actually be the longest one. Longest.
We had to do it up,
bro.
Big,
nah, bro.
You know what I mean?
This was a great I really love this. Love sitting down and hearing your story, talking to you, and getting insight. And also, first time on the podcast where I openly talked about the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, bro, for sitting down here and sharing your story. Where can they find you at on social media platforms?
Awesome question. So right now I'm just on Instagram.
Okay.
J Wolfpack, JWOLFE. My bad, I forgot. I'm a gym guy. I can only count. I forget to spell. P-A-K-K.
Okay.
And just look for, again, you can't miss the bald dome, some facial hair.
Right.
Just right now I'm on the Instagram because, with social media, sometimes people abuse it. I deleted my other social media, but I may, for the networking aspect, may have to bring it back. Yo,
listen, y'all, follow my boy, J Wolfpack on Instagram. I'll have it in the down below. Follow my boy, check him out. What area are you currently in?
So I'm right outside of Philadelphia, down the road here. Westchester, Downingtown, Exton.
Anybody in the Coatesville, Westchester, Downingtown, Exton area, KOP area, check my boy out. Get with him if you need any health, fitness needs or whatever the case may be, or directions. You know what I'm saying? Get with my guy, Jake. I appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? As always, thank you for blessing the podcast for episode 20, man. And yeah, bro, it's crazy, man.
Final cheers.
Cheers. For sure.
Give that peach Alani. Final cheers.
For sure, man. This is actually good, though, too.
Congrats.
I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? My words to you, bro. Keep going. I see you every day working hard. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is our first time actually meeting, second time actually meeting, man. Keep going. And, you just know that you are covered by the best, bro, and God got you each and every day you step foot, go to sleep, whatever the case is. So keep doing your thing, bro. I appreciate you, my man, my boy. All right, y'all.